Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Mukwakadash, the wonders and salutations to the elders and apostles of Grim Stone well, and the Akim, try the four corners of the earth, is but Nash DC Camp, with another update for the hopeful elect, for the edification, body of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Yeah, so you see on your screen a letter from the Republican Party of the state of Texas, expressing their grievance as by the lawsuit they filed with the Supreme Court being tossed out. Yeah, so it just proves that America's on the decline. All right, the Lord Yahweh Shai is brewing up that vibration of disagreement here in Babylon. All right, and that's a key factor in the downfall of a kingdom, the lack of unity, okay, between the government and the people. Right? And the people already know that, that are already awake to all the drama, that there is just an illusion, okay? All right, it's just an illusion, and they understand that two-party system is just a dog and pony show, and that the elites basically run both systems, and their job is to, keep the people from interrupting with their plans. All right, so I'm going to read from the book of. Let's see. Let me read from the book of Isaiah. All right. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. The Lord, Yahweh Shemashah Shemakwakadash, hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have cursed Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggers in his vomit. All right. So these folks out there, man, that believe in this system, they're just staggering. They don't even know what they're really fighting for. That's just a bunch of illusions, okay? And they put on another protest in this, around the country, right, this weekend, right? So I know in D.C. they have another protest that's by, count the votes or stop stop the fraud and all that stuff. You got to expect counter protesters to be in there, so it's going to be contention. All right, so it basically tells you that all it takes is for the courts to disagree, in the face of all evidence that's been put up there, and all the sworn affidavits of witnesses, claiming that there was fraud, and they got evidence and with testimony to back it up. And then the letter says in the highlighted part saying that perhaps law-abiding states should bond together and form a union of states that will abide by the Constitution. Yeah, so the elite have already decided that they don't need the Constitution anymore. That was just a piece of paper, for to deceive the people. All right, and he also goes on to say, let me read the whole letter. Basically, it says resulting in damaging. Okay, it says when some states don't want to go along with the Constitution and toss out election laws that affects the other states, it interferes, with those that want to play by the book. But that's just a bunch of hogwash, all right? Because the system was set in place by the elites to have the people, in subjection, all right? And now they don't feel, good about it. They feel disenchanted, that they've been taken taken for a fool. They've been taken to the cleaners, all right? And they want to restore order, but that's not going to happen anymore. Okay, the system is taking a different life of its own, okay? Because the elite are in a rush to do certain things, so they have to commit all types of fraudulent activities, at the local, state, and the federal level, even it's national, okay, at the international level, so they can have their way because they know that they have a short time for rulership, all right? So just imagine, the folks that trust the process being being scapegoated, being a bunch of victims of the system. Yeah, not knowing that the elites have a different plan in mind, all right? They know their rulership is coming to an end, and they have to alter the way things are, or alter the process, interfere with the so-called process because they have goals they need to accomplish, all right? So if you read, I'm going to read from the book of Sirach chapter 28. Sirach chapter 28, verse 18. It says, many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many have fallen, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue. I read it again. Sirach chapter 28, verse 18. Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue. Yeah, so when you listen to the media and all that, all the lies you hear over the radio, over the news, it just shows that, people get easily deceived, and that's how they're able to take, countries to war. Deception, lies, lies, lies. Why? Because the elites have to deceive the people to stay in power. All right. Despite all the so-called evidence and facts they bring out concerning election fraud, the media doesn't care because the media is owned by the elites that want things to go a certain way because they know that for them to achieve their goals, that fraud is not out of their reach. Okay, and all they have to do is just send a phone call, to the so-called lapdogs in different government agencies, to go certain direction, and they won't do nothing. All right, they just have to stand back and let the show continue. Okay. So it doesn't matter if they call out the FBI, ATF, DOJ, the State Department, whatever. It's all going down the crapper, okay? Because the elites are desperate, so they have to do certain things, and this is a good example, all right, of what they are willing to do to stay in power, since they know that they have a short time, okay? And then the Lord Yahushua, reminded us in the book of Matthew chapter 12, all right, verse 25 and 26. He tells you clearly, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and there's a division, a disconnect between the government and the people, all right? Both parties are just playing games, trying to deceive the other, trying to claim that they're both legitimate. All right, one party, want to take the country to war, and it's for the super rich, while the others planning, to hold the people at bay, to, keep them, keep them under. All right, so that's basically the so-called Democrats and so-called Republicans. They're both working hand in hand, all right, because they're controlled by the elites, all right? They're just a bunch of, false opposition, all right? Actors, that's all they are, just a bunch of actors, all right? So, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand, all right? So the disconnect between the government and the people is the root cause for the destruction of an empire. Okay, and then you have the financial system, which is not reflective of the real economy. All right. And then verse 26 says, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So this kingdom of the Edomites, man, these Edomites are going against each other. You're right. It's not really Jake at the forefront of all these contentions. It's Edomites, man. They're upset. Okay, they're upset that all the so-called work they put in to ensure things go a certain way, it's been railroaded, and the bitterness is coming to fruition. Yeah, so that's why this place is called America, man. All right, so that's just the point that I can, you could always go online because and do more research, right? So this image I just got it from this YouTuber Black Scout Survival. Yeah, he puts up some good information out there, so you have to be aware of what's going on in the political system. So that's the point I can hope you've been edified. Just keep your eyes open and watch out for what's going on. Shalom.